Hello, everyone, and welcome to Light Language. This is episode 21.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's like, I don't remember what somebody said. Oh, there'll be, 20 something of them. So, and we are joined by JJ, Tutah Speaks. Hello. We have Karen, Starseed Awakening, 1111. And I am Tarot Stash. Thank you very much for being here, everyone. And as always, this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance. Really. So I'm going to put JJ on the spot first. JJ, how are you? What's been going on? Update us.
Okay, I lost my wallet around Thanksgiving. And I know it wasn't stolen because I kept checking my bank statements, right? But it got to the point where I would get into the shower and be like, maybe it's in here. Maybe every room, every place I went, maybe it's in here. And I asked my friends, I'm like, I have psychic friends. Where's my wallet? Karen's like, in the car. In the car. And I'm like, I fucking looked there, Karen. Guess what? It was in the car. Just found it yesterday.
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 And that was at Thanksgiving?
I lost it at Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah, the day before.
Annie Bear said, I'm doing that about a set of keys.
Oh, all right, everybody. Where's Annie's keys? Karen.
I knew you were going to do
that. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Karen, how are you?
I am good. I'm really excited. We are currently right now on vacation. And so we are on Moosehead Lake in Maine. It is very snowy outside.
Very nice.
And doing well and looking forward to moving soon. So, yeah.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
How are you, Gerald?
I am doing great. I have been, for those of you who are subscribed to my channel, I have been enjoying doing Glimmer Globe 2024, collecting glimmers every day. And the Sunday is the last day for that. I was going to do it for 22 days. So I've been doing it. So far, I've done it 18 days in a row, which is wonderful. And those videos are a lot of fun. People are leaving wonderful comments. I appreciate that. It's just nice to know that other people are appreciating it and noticing it. So that's cool. And all right. So let's say hi to everyone. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. We've got Kaylee Fogo Pogo, Annie Bear, Joanne, Karen, Starseed Awakening. By the way, mods, please watch that one. Trouble. And Annie Bear can't stay long, but we need to find Annie Bear's keys. It's the shop keys.
What's really weird is I honestly see it underneath something, but the worst part about it is, and the reason I say the worst part about it is because they're highlighting very much so about where, like, it's not just like let's pretend if it was the couch. It's not just underneath the couch. It's underneath the couch in the way back spot that has cobwebs and dust bunnies. I mean, this is tucked into something that is further in than what you think it is.
Yeah, it got shuffled in and moved, and whilst you were looking, it got shoved behind and under.
under, exactly. So this is, and then they like are highlighting that you're going to find it and go, damn, I need to clean this. That you're going to, it's going to be that kind of thing where you're like, wow, I need to clean this. They keep emphasizing that. So it's something that, you know, you hit or you clean, or, but it's under there.
There you go.
Yeah, there was definitely furniture being flipped over here looking for it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Hello. And we got a standing ovation from Kaylee for 21 episodes, Mosaic Insight. Oh yeah, there you go. There's the overall request. So, hello, YT Social, Jima 6, moving to, and oh yeah, okay. The team, Liz and All, Lois. So we've got Leah, Patty. It's great to see everybody. We're simulcasting this on all 3 of our channels. Do verify you are subscribed, because some people's subscriptions are falling off. Don't know why.
They are every day. Like I can't get over like 889. Like it's a mystery, because it'll be like 889 will be the highest, and then I'll keep searching and it's like 5 people have dropped off. You know, and I'm like, that's weird.
Yes.
I mean, people like me.
People like me. I'm a
people like me. And Annie says, okay, I think I know where to look. And said, hubby has been cleaning out our shop. Okay. And Kaylee said, I was driving to work this morning, panicking that my phone wasn't in my purse and I'd left it at home. It was on my dash, being used as GPS.
Yeah.
It was a morning.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's been a while.
It's been a while. I'm so happy we get to do this.
Me too. Yeah. And I do want to say there is a celebration for today, because someone we just found out backstage, tell me to stop if you want me to.
Oh, we're good.
Is celebrating their 10th anniversary of their light language emerging. And that would be JJ.
That's me. I'm seeing if I have a party hat here somewhere.
A party hat.
I don't. It's so funny because we were talking about a dream I had last night about Arizona, and then I started thinking, I'm like, yeah, somebody in my dream is the one who like helped my language emerge in Sedona, and then I'm like, wait a second, when? Because I write it down because I forget. Like I wrote it down, and I'm like, oh my god, this is today, December 19th, 2014 is when my language emerged. What a day!
Yes, there's a lot of celebrations for that. And Leah said, JJ, I need to tell you, I think of you often. I'm sorry I've missed you, and I am honored to be with you.
Oh, thank you.
And so there we go.
I'm really happy I found all of you guys, because it's made life so much easier. You know, having a community that you can just be your true authentic self with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is exactly, it's funny that you say that. I'm just thinking of all the coincidences lately. It's really funny because that's exactly, did you see my Way Showers post? Yeah.
I haven't.
No.
Okay. So it's exactly what I was writing in my post is thankful for the 3 sisters that I have, which I consider JJ, Debbie, and Lisa, but to the Way Showers and to the YouTube community, and the fact that we support each other on so many different ways. I can recall a time where somebody helped somebody else move, and they didn't even know each other, but through the community. And so I think that is really awesome that we have such a community that supports each other on such a unconditional way, I guess is a good way to say it. Like, if all you can give is a prayer, then that's awesome, And
well, yeah, and I would say if all you can offer is a prayer, then offer the prayer, because I've had conversations with my friend Deb about this grid of energy, prayers, magic that is surrounding all of us, and whatever you do it to the fullest of your abilities. It goes in there. It gets included. It's woven in. So I shut you off, Karen.
Well, no, that's fine.
So
YT, those are her real glasses.
They are. They're my reading glasses.
yes,
we all wear glasses.
Yes, and prayers do work.
I kind of want to change the name Way Showers to the Weavers, because it's like we're the Weavers.
Oh.
Which is way easier than, okay, it's the Way Showers, but it's spelled it's spelled with a C. Just an idea.
Wow. Yeah. Hi, Carrie. Yeah.
So we were, since it has been, I think the last time I have notes, because yes, I do have notes.
You're so put together.
It was the 25th of July, or maybe in August, but I think it was the 25th of July. So, and so there's been a lot of changes going on. It's like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
So,
it's been a minute.
It's been a minute, and in that minute, a lot of things have come through.
Yeah.
While we were chatting backstage, and I had the countdown started, I was shuffling the deck that I like for light language, and this card came out. It's the Star. And I think it's an important thing for us to remember, we are all stars. We are all holding our hands up. We are also all holding we're holding each other up. The stars are holding us up. It's a mutually beneficial thing. And the star in the tarot card is the universal blessing card. It's the one where the universe sees you and wants you to be successful. So I just thought
I was counting the points on it. It's 8, which is for me, it's infinity. Infinity was really important, like a vision or a message that came through for this past year, this current year, was the infinity sign. And one thing that I drew once was this person, and they had infinity eyes. It was just like, eyes, it was like the, infinity sign. So, kind of gazing through those glasses of infinity has a different feeling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I just think that's really, it was a great image, and it felt very nice to be sharing space. So there you go. So, and here we go. My partner reports that I speak light language in my sleep. Who knew?
That's awesome.
Yes. And I'm not surprised by that.
I'm not surprised. I was going to be like, I knew, but I'm like, did I know?
Immediately what hit me is, and I respect everyone's belief on this, even if I don't agree with someone else's belief on this, but I really feel my guides, my star people are saying that we're going to see more of us. And the way around that is pulling people into the dream state and visiting in the dream state. And the reason for that is so that when they step forward in the here and the now, it won't be as scary for those of us who have already seen and felt their presence and seen how they are. You know, and Bashar, because I really like Bashar was saying that. I think it was in between 2025 and 2027, we're going to see more of them or feel more of them until they're finally there. And he had stated something along the lines of that later on, you know, we're going to see spacecraft and it's going to, it's going to be, sorry, I'm still getting over a lung thing, that they'll be sitting off in the distance, not not doing anything, but just sitting there. So we'll be accustomed to it as well. So yeah.
And well, and I think part of it is as there's so much energy shifting going on, and I know everybody's tired of everybody saying, oh, the energy shifting and all of that stuff. Well, it is.
It is.
I mean, you cannot agree with it. You can ignore it. But energetically, there's movement and things are changing, changes afoot. And part of that is I think we are all going to be experiencing that in our own way. And the way that is what our body needs to have so that we can do some adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that's a key thing.
It's really interesting because Terry popped in and Karen was inspired by Terry. You want to talk about that? Because it's exactly what Gerald's talking about.
Oh, yeah. You're going to have to help me along. Not that it just, I'm in the middle of a download right now. So if you could.
Okay.
You want my help too? I can help.
Yes. Go ahead.
Are we helping with the download?
No, help with the story.
It was Terry said it. Terry had something that on today that Karen was watching, and it was about wasn't it about the changes coming?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and having to stand still.
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
Still
because somebody, I don't know who, doesn't rest. Somebody is always moving. Someone, I don't know, nobody in this room, of course, nobody watching, doesn't slow down.
Literally, they said, just stop, just start talking. We're going to help you. So I had this chess thing. And as some of you know, I was getting ready I was kind of deciding whether I wanted to bring up the moving to my partner. And so I was very, very sick and I couldn't even talk while getting this reading. And Debbie's like, well, you're sick because you don't slow down. You're sick because you don't take care of yourself. You're sick because you go and you go and you go. So now they have slammed you with being sick so that you can stop. You can take care of yourself. You can rest. You know, and I do have, that always happens to me. They say where you get really, really sick and then you have this slow down space. And today when I was listening to Terry was talking about taking care of yourself and slowing down and understanding those changes that are coming in. And the download that I was getting was talking about, and I want to say what Gerald said, whether you agree or not with the energy, it is shifting.
Yes.
You know, and maybe you don't agree with it because this is the energy that you're sitting at, and it's okay. But for some of us that are having these huge impactful shifts, you know, now is the time, and we've said this before, but the urgency is like, okay, you guys got to understand, now is the time to really, when you have these times of staying still and taking care of yourself and trying to remember to care for yourself, it's also a time of purging and getting rid of things and and knowing that, how do you want to see your shift? Who do you want to be? You know, it sounds silly, but you know, they always show me these big, humongous tubes that are, you know, they're huge tubes like you would see in a walking in aquarium where you can see the fish all around you.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that, where these tubes are touching right now, but pretty soon they're not going to be touching. And then they change the tubes into trains and train tracks. Like I can see that train over there, and that train over there is a crazy hot mess train that I personally would not want to be at. But there's a train over there that's way, way nicer and way prettier. And I would love to get over there on that train. But I got to work on me before I can get onto that one. Mm-hmm. You know, so they're saying they're given the opportunity to relax one way or another, 100%.
Yes.
And also some of us are given the opportunity to change, grow, and get rid of things that no longer vibrate. When it's funny because they're like, you were a different person then than you are now. And so you have to have forgiveness and let that stuff go.
Mm-hmm. So. Because it is really slowing people down.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, if we're going with the floating in water, it's the rocks in your pocket rather than the natural buoyancy of lungs in a body.
Yep.
But yeah.
Oh my God! Can you guys hear my lizard? Geez, settle down, Inky. So when Karen was speaking, this was like imposed on the neck area of just like a black silhouette. It was this symbol. And it's so interesting because you were talking about the train tracks, and it's like touching and then not touching. Yeah.
Well, and I also wonder if that's part of, I've heard people are feeling timelines are switching.
Yeah.
So is that a symbol like for train tracks where you actually switch the train tracks and you move?
Yeah.
So
100%. And it really is, who do you want to surround yourself with? You know, I mean, I have a friend that I have had for a very long time, and we're no longer friends. And I wish I could pinpoint why that is. And I have no clue or no idea why. Mm-hmm. And so instead of continuing to carry that with me of trying to bang my head and figure out what happened, you know, this was something that hit me last night. It's like, maybe we're just she's on her own spiritual path. I'm on my own spiritual path. And those two do not, you know, vibrate together. Like, I believe in this, you know, the aliens. If you would have asked me 7 years ago, I would have said, yeah, they're probably out there, but I can't see, you know, I can't see them. So I'm not going to say no. But now I have proof, you know, I've experienced so many things, and that's okay. You know, that she isn't like that, but we can't, you know, it almost feels like the acknowledgement of, because we're on so different vibrations, we cannot, like, I can't keep hanging on to the fact that this is going on. You know, I can't keep reminiscing about something that I don't have. I need to just be okay. There's a lot of energy going through there, JJ. So yeah, it's very, the timelines are really, it's like almost like, what type of earth do you want to be in? You know, you're not going to, people that you are not vibing with are not going to be around you. They're just not.
Well, okay, JJ, I know you're waiting for me to talk so you can talk. So thank you. Did I get that right? I'm just checking.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting, while you're talking, Karen, and this friend who you can't pinpoint the moment. What I'm seeing in the collective light language and Akashic records, you know, for those of you who don't know, I see light language as symbols, and the symbols oftentimes rotate for me. What is becoming, and I wrote this down, we're all cogs in this big thing that we call experience and life. And what's happening, sometimes those cogs, the friends that we have, they may lower or they may shift so that the cogs can move in a different direction.
Yeah.
It does not discount the way that they have moved previously. This is a very clear message. Do not discount what movement there was and what interaction there was between the cogs, because that was needed, and part of that was the placement of where they were.
Yeah.
Because you needed that to get both of you at a certain level. And now then there's the separation, and other cogs and other movement and more directions can happen because we were ever evolving. So.
Yep, I agree. Happy birthday, MLR.
Happy birthday.
So, and yes, and Lauren said, same thing is happening to me also. The frequencies don't match any longer. I'm still moving through the sadness. Some I have known for decades.
Okay, this is where I come in.
Okay.
Ba-ba-bum. Think of it because there's emotions with all of this, like somebody that you've known for a while, or maybe somebody has known you for a while, and vice versa. It's like, and then you kind of just spin out of their orbit, and then somebody spins into your orbit and then out of your orbit, and they're sharing with me, like, think of it as a song. Like, everybody has their own song, and it's like, what it's like when, say, like, somebody's listening to a type of song and you're listening to, like, I don't know, heavy metal or something, and somebody else is listening to country. It's like, you can't be so close together when your songs are changing, and you're picking up lyrics here and there, and it's almost like that you need to spin out of that orbit, so you can go fine tune your song. That's kind of like an interesting way to think about change, where if you think about it as like a song and lyric and tunes, that it's a little bit more gentler on the heart space and the brain space. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will also say I like that description of music, because rock music and country music, there is a skill of doing a mashup of those.
Yes.
Sometimes the mashups are really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
What is amazing is it's taking pieces and parts and honoring them and weaving them together and letting them be loud enough to add something to the new thing that you are creating. So when we think about this idea of we've got to release things because we're moving and we're shifting, yes, there is sadness about it. There can also be joy. There can be frustration. There can be anger, excitement, exuberance. There can be all sorts of things. I think it's so, I don't know why I'm being told to, anyhow, just say it, Gerald. Emotions are powerful, and we need to honor those emotions, whatever they are. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the ones that we don't understand, because there's a lot of power in those.
Everybody, this is the noisy maker.
Well, hello, noisy maker. Yes, it's like the Fugees doing the song Killing Me Softly.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I love that song.
Yeah.
Unexpected crossroads are very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, I don't remember what I just said. So there we go. Boom.
Don't you love that when that happens?
Coming in, going out.
Yeah. And I think it's an interesting thing. There's a beautiful opportunity, because what it does is it links us to things we may not have been interested in before.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's just like Aerosmith and Run DMC. Who would have thought that those two things would have crossed over? And what's cross-pollination is the word that I need. Cross-pollination is what's needed. And, all right, cross-pollination, because we are stronger when we are cross-pollinating and sharing our understanding freely without judgment. There's this, we've got to think about, there is duality, yet there's not duality.
Yeah.
So how do we allow that cross-pollination for ourselves and for those who have a different experience in life than we do? How do we honor that? And well, part of it is we honor it by getting curious about what the other is doing and what they're saying. Because if I think I'm all that, first of all, I'm probably going to be one of the first to go extinct, because I have no interest in, you know, my symbol will stop moving and I will not be good for anyone. So.
What?
Did I lose you?
What do you mean your symbol's gonna stop spinning?
No. If I don't allow that cross-pollination, and that sharing of energy, my symbol will stop. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
Didn't mean to freak anybody out.
What? Is this goodbye? Yeah.
No.
And you know, like with a concierto or whatever, however you say it.
Concerto.
Yeah, that's it. It's like sometimes the notes need to be more supportive than like the main character. And I that's why I love this community and even this conversation we're having. We're like three different people, and it's like we all add something, we all support one another, and holding space while I don't know,
it's funny because JJ, as you're talking, my guides are over here are making it literally. They said making chicken soup for the soul. So, and then, yeah, making chicken soup for the soul. And they were literally saying, you know, how great would it be? You know, the chicken soup tastes so much better with the chicken, the potatoes, the celery, you know, and they just keep adding stuff to the pot, and it's so flavorful now when we're all together. Yeah. You know.
It's that story of stone soup. We've all heard that.
Yeah.
If you haven't, go look for it. Stone soup. Do you know it, Karen?
No.
I do, yeah.
Do you want to share it, JJ? If I put you on the spot?
The basis of it is, it's like, you know, somebody has a pot, you know, and they're like, okay, I don't have any ingredients. And it's, so I'm just going to put some water in a stone, and I'm going to make it like, you know, like I'm really doing something. And like somebody comes by like, oh, what are you doing? And they're like, oh, I'm making some soup. And they're like, oh, I've got some celery. I don't have all the ingredients, but I have some celery. Mm-hmm. Can I add that? Because I'm hungry, you know, and I would love to have soup with you. And it's like, and it keeps going and keeps going, and everybody adds something to it. And it's not just stone soup anymore. It's delicious and nutritious, and community came together. Yeah.
So cross-pollination.
Cross-pollination. I love that. And I really love that. I just love how it comes together, this story that we're sharing today, because it's like we're talking about train tracks, and that came up before we came on live, was train tracks. But I don't think Karen heard, because Karen walked away for a second, and we talked about train tracks.
You were?
Yeah. Because in my dream, you know, we were like, somebody said we're moving to Vails, Arizona, and I'm like, where's Vails? And they're like, Arizona. And so I looked it up when I woke up, and there's a place called Vail, Arizona, and it was all about the train tracks.
Mhm.
And
I heard the Veils part. I missed the train tracks.
Yeah, it's where the train, and but there was something I really didn't want to bring up a subject, but you just brought it up in a super gentle, loving way, Gerald, was because earlier I was like, what are we going to talk about today? And I'm like, I wonder if we can like what needs to shift for the division to not really weave together, but like there's so much division out there right now. Like what needs to, I was like going through these ideas of like what would need to happen for the division to not be so divided, and cross pollination and stone soup and being curious. You answered it.
Yep.
But it was in such a quiet way. I hope everybody hears it, because division isn't fun, you know? And yeah, sometimes people orbit out of your song, or you might orbit out, but you know, there's still like that little footprint of they were in your life. And
Yes.
I don't know, but you answered it, like cross pollination. Yeah.
I keep getting this vision, and I just have to explain it. And then, you know, I don't know why I keep getting it, so I'm just going to keep say it. Has anyone ever been like hunting for gold, like gold panning?
No, I have not.
It's a really cool kind of process. I mean, if you do it by hand, you know, you dig some dirt, you put it through a sifter, you know, and you get the big rocks. So you sift it the first couple of times, and as I guess it's called sifter, but you keep sifting through this dirt, and the first kind of screen takes all the big rocks out, and you put a little bit more water through there, and you sift it, and it gets the smaller rocks out. And then your next sifter, you know, gets the even smaller, until you're left with these very fine grains of sand. And they just keep showing me to, you know, you add a little water, and you do this kind of mixing, kind of what is it? Slopping?
Slowing.
Slewing. And so you just keep doing this, right? And pretty soon you're left with this kind of black dirt. And it's, to me, it's so pretty, the black dirt, and it, especially when you have those gold flakes that are at the very bottom of the pan. And for me right now, what I'm hearing is, you know, we look down and we're so worried about all of those rocks, all of these rocks, but you threw those out, and, you know, just stay focused on the last part of it. So,
well, yes. Also, remember the process that you're going through to get to that, because without that, we may discard something else. You have to pay attention to all of those aspects, because you might find a huge chunk of gold.
True.
And we don't want that to happen. So,
Ooh,
yeah.
That's neat, Leah.
The Eye of Ra are said to be black with gold flecks. There you go. And Desert Dawn said that black sand is where we find garnets in Santa Catalina washes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dawn, you're in Tucson, right? Is that where you live, is Tucson? Because I saw that you knew about Vail.
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So I also yes. Actually, yes.
Yeah, read that right, Gerald. Gosh.
Gerald's guest, read him. So, also going back with the idea of the train and the train tracks.
Yeah.
there are times when you need to jump the rails and switch train cars.
100%. 100%. And that's what we're doing right now. It's almost like, it almost feels as if, especially when they had me look over there, which that's a train I don't want to be on. But this one over here, that's the one that I want, and they're saying it's possible. Yes, you can switch the tracks.
Mm-hmm. There was something that came up.
Sorry, Gerald.
There was, I'm not sorry, I'm cutting in. There was something that came up that said, a shaman had said it to this person who was studying with him. And he said, does that path have heart? It's like, do those train tracks, when you look, you don't know where the train tracks are going to go, but does it have heart?
Yeah.
Like you don't want to go down the empty path, because, and that's an easy thing for humans to do with the programming. Like, it's like you go to school and people are telling you what to do and what to think. And so they'll be like, okay, well, your path is to go to college and then get a job and then, A, B, C, and D. And it's like, sometimes those paths doesn't have heart. And so you might need to go that way.
I would also add that, does that path have heart for you?
For you.
Yeah.
Because this is something, I've been exploring human design, which is a way to understand our core and how our brain overreacts and takes us off of what is our center and what is our heart. And so does that path have heart for me? Because you may not understand it, but if it's passionate for you, that's important. I think the most effective teachers are the ones who allow the students to recognize where the heart is, where the passion is, and then encourages the student along the way whilst keeping them as safe as possible, giving them the guide rails so that they don't fall off the cliff. So yeah.
That's interesting, Gerald, because somebody in the very beginning, when we talked about the 10-year anniversary of the language, said, can you talk about, I think it was, the word was used was passion.
This one?
Yeah.
About following your passion and how it feels like a form of channeling art, music, making stuff.
Yeah. Leah brought it all together.
Yep. High prairie winds and wildflowers, spiritual arts. Good to see you. And okay, JJ.
Yeah.
So can you talk about following your passion and how it feels like channeling art, music, and making stuff?
Yeah, it's really interesting because when my language came out, it did come out in song. I was on the table and let go of the grief of a past life involving the Trail of Tears time. And when it came through, it was a song. And so I was just like witnessing myself, like when I just kind of surrendered to something, to the emotion of it all, the song came through. And they're likening that to, they're really digging this cross-pollination conversation. They're talking about like when you're the seed and it's like you're sprouting underneath the soil. It's like all you're really doing is hearing this like distant sound, this distant song, and you're just like, I don't know if I'm growing sideways, downwards, am I growing up? I don't know. And it's like, kind of have to surrender sometimes and just be like, okay, well, here I am right now. And I hear this distant calling. I'm going to trust that for now and reserve the right to change, to process. And if, but I'm going to trust the process in this current time. So that's what they're talking about. Is just kind of being quiet, going within,
Mm-hmm.
Which brings me to, and I don't know who's going to be doing this. Maybe it's all of us together, but doing this collective thing for us where we're slewing or filtering out, and you get to decide where the gems are, where the treasures are, and just see if you get an answer personally, individually, of what's your treasure? Because this is like the end of the year. This is like a full moon. You said it was like the winter solstice.
Yeah. Winter solstice is coming up on Saturday, which is the time of the year when we have darkness. It's the longest night. So traditionally, we're spending a lot of time indoors. We're mending things. We're around the fire. We're telling stories. We're thinking. We're very introspective. It's very natural to do that. Very natural to do that. Sorry, JJ, go for it.
I was just wondering, if we close our eyes, if we just close our eyes, and it's almost like the person asking about the blue kachina, the Hopi. I've thought about that in the past. It's something that's come up, the blue kachina. It's like the blue kachina, the red kachina. And it's like, I don't know the whole thing, just kind of like what spirit has shared with me or things I resonate with, but it's almost like that. What do you guys like inside? Just ask yourself, the washing of the blue light, how does that blue light feel? And I know that sometimes the putting a different color light on things will, especially when you're rock hounding, I don't know specifically with gold, but when you're rock hounding, some things glow. So if it feels right to bring in a blue light, just get nice and comfortable where you are right now at this time, and just kind of see. For me, I see the outline of you, and I see that there's different layers of you, as if you're a Lego, a creation of Lego, and it's just what if we put a little space in between all of that, just to just separate every little piece of you right now, and just give it a little gentle shake or shine that light on, and just see if some things just need to the dust of where Annie's keys are, just let some of that dust go, some of the that stuff that just needs to go, that isn't really super important anymore, and just give yourself a little shake and see what can we filter out that's no longer useful. I think there's some ancestral stuff that people are just really tired of dealing with. Just see if you can gently shake that. What if all of those little Lego pieces and parts of you had their own light? And if you were to switch the light on, switch the light off on all those little pieces of you, are they different colors? And if they were all turned on, is it like a prism of colors that are one color? Or is it a multidimensional you? It's a way of thinking. We're not just one color and one tune. That's why being here and this human experience is so interesting. Next, Tuti. Next. Who's next?
What are you getting, Gerald?
Well, I was like, is Karen going next?
No.
I think part of what is important is because I'm seeing different lights shining on these cogs that we talked about earlier, and they cast different shadows. They cast shadows that are not necessarily the light, the color of the light that is emanating, because it goes through us. We change that light. We have to, it's important for us to remember to keep ourselves as clear and as clean and healthy as possible, so that that light that is going through us is allowed to be as clear and pure as possible. It's very rare that someone would be able to just be really clear and not add anything to it. What's important is that we understand what we're adding to it and what we're taking from it, so that we're not making it cloudy. We need it to be in water, not in milk, so that we can have that purity. And everybody's going to use that light differently, because when you mix different colors together, surprise, you get alchemy.
Ready for me?
Go for it.
I thought I was giggling over here because every time you said, well, both of you, every time you said light, I keep getting this little flame, and they said, atue ekne usana. And it was like this little flame that you have inside of you, that you guys, we've all been burning these little flames. And then they, so they, atue enekne ishe, and they're like, we've been turning it up and ukna emete, and now you're this beautiful bright flame. And I laugh because they encase us in glass, and some of us need to remember to dust off, the black soot. So I was giggling every time you said light, because they just kept brushing off the soot really fast. The soot isn't you. The soot isn't that beautiful flame that you are. And it's really important to try to remember that and focus on beautiful beings that we all are. I just keep hearing we're coming. And so it's keep shining your light. And, it's really funny because they have you reaching across and over and just kind of through the glass to the next light, holding that hand. And now that it's so brilliant and so bright and so beautiful. And so that they just want to reiterate to remember our bright flames that we are. So, yeah.
Ooh, Rama. Yeah.
I'm like,
we are a kaleidoscope of past lives, current life purposes, and sometimes we need to turn the tube and get different perspectives, other beautiful views. And we have that was beautiful, the sacred flame. And so, yeah, full body chills on that, Karen. And don't forget that it's the cracks where the light shines through when things are dark. Yes.
I love, if you think of the projector, the projector coming through us, and is our lens grimy? Is it sooty? Is it a partial projection? They were showing me when you guys were talking, when we become, whatever our type of clear is that it's almost like when you're at a drive-in and everybody turns on their headlights. It's almost like if once thinking of the collective song or tune, it's almost as if when I'm my type of clear, Karen's her type of clear, and Gerald, you're and other people, like at this drive-in with our lights projecting, it's like, it's almost as if something can come through. And the something that comes through is, it seems like it's more of a one thing than multiple things. It's almost as if something coming through is almost like the same thing for all of us, is what I'm seeing. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just the divine. But yeah, if it's almost like like the power of what humans can do.
Yeah.
And we need to cross-pollinate to do that. And
well,
clear.
and we also need to dust.
And dust, yeah.
That's been a trend. And back in July of 2025, there was an exercise of building a fence and put out the sticky things, put it out to pasture.
Yeah.
So, and I think this is it's very interesting, because this also goes back to something, Karen, you were saying, this idea of having to stand still.
Yeah. Well, I think for some of us, when we're so caught up with the coin of the land, and I say that because, I really feel that in this earth, we have to chase that coin. And we're so, that's what we have to do. I mean, you have to chase the coin, whatever way that looks like for you. And we get sidetracked with everything that we don't focus on: our health, our healing, our peace of mind, our relaxation, just all of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you believe? Go ahead, JJ.
Are you saying coin like COIN?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like they're showing me like it's rolling, and we're like trying to catch this coin, and it's going like under the couch, and you're like reaching, and it's like Annie Bear looking for her keys. It's
yeah,
like,
it's finding Annie Bear's keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I always think it's interesting, this idea of, you flip a coin,
mm-hmm.
and people think, well, there's two sides to every coin. Actually, there's three, because there's the side.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we got that idea of a rainbow, and that's the visual rainbow. We cannot discount the light that we cannot see with our eyes, where many other creatures and beings are able to see those and are able to exist in those and to walk in those.
Yep.
So there we go. So,
there we go.
Dang.
This is a great end of the year conversation.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Any last or any thoughts for people as we move from 2024 into 2025?
I just hear, what do you want to create? We are starting to become some of us manifesting. They say generators, but that's not the correct. Manifesting something, like your manifestations are going to come stronger. So what are you manifesting? Mm-hmm. If you're stressing over all the chaos, all of that, everything, you're going to continue to get more chaos in your life.
Yes.
If you're manifesting and focusing on love and peace and happiness and good things. And I'm not saying, don't be realistic. Realistic is, we do have a lot of crap going on sometimes. Acknowledge it, but don't stay focused on it. Yeah. Acknowledge that, maybe you're financially going through a rough time. You can acknowledge that and say it's rough right now, but it's going to get better and it's going to look good, and it's going to, and believe that it will. But if you stay focused on the negative, you'll continue to get that. So what do you want to create for next year?
Well, where you put your attention, you get more of.
Exactly.
So, and I'm not saying don't notice or pay attention to the challenging things.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you putting your energy? What are you fertilizing? Are you fertilizing those negative energies?
Mm-hmm.
Are you fertilizing the ability for you to think clearly? What is it that you're focusing on? Because whatever your intention is deserves your attention. And make
Yes.
sure that your intention and your attention are on the things that you want them to be.
Yep.
So, but yeah. JJ, thoughts? You're quiet.
My thought is just like, well, they're talking about, which path has when you look down that path that you can't see the end to, does it have hearts? They keep saying that from what was before. And, but it's also like, just all of this sounds very like adult and like, a job to do. And it's just like, just take those moments to like laugh and be playful and create and or even watch other people create. It's like or nature create. It's like, it just kind of remember I know it feels heavy, even the empaths here in our community, like it feels grimy, it feels heavy sometimes. It's like, so just take those moments of like self-care to like stand still and like watch a comedy, or like I love watching little videos of people scaring like their loved ones. It just makes me laugh so hard. Like,
but that brings more laughter into your life because that's what you're. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Laugh. Take those moments to just find your joy.
Yeah.
I love it. Find your joy and nurture your joy and appreciate it.
Yeah.
And, tell it you're glad it's here, and offer it a cup of coffee. Offer it a room. Allow it to move in rent free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So.
Wow. I'm like, woo.
This is wonderful.
That was great.
I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of 2024. And I do wish everybody the best. Thank you to the amazing JJ of Tutah Speaks, who is celebrating their 10th light language anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. And the amazing Karen, Starseed Awakening 1111, who is, it'll be 5 years in March.
Yeah.
So,
and you were born with yours, right, Gerald?
Well, I've identified it, but I don't know if I've been born with it. Yeah. Or maybe it's Maybelline, right?
Yeah. Maybe it's Maybelline.
So anyhow, so thank you, everybody. We will hopefully see you in the new year when we're finished here, we're going to talk about when we might be able to get together again. So everybody, thank you for being you. And I'm thinking that, changes are coming, cross-pollinate, pay attention to the tracks. Does the path have heart for you? Cogs are moving, everybody. So,
yes.
All right. Bye.
Choo-choo.